After chaos comes a promise. After scandal comes reform. After fear comes safety. That is the rhythm of power. We have trafficking, we have job displacement, we have polarization, we have distrust, and now, quietly, we are being offered a solution. Things like digital identity systems, expanded verification, biometric authentication, AI-assisted behavioral monitoring, disclosure of new previously hidden files. These aren't framed as control. Of course not. They are framed as protection. Almost every regime I've studied used the same word when expanding oversight: safety. They say we need emergency powers, we need temporary monitoring, we need registration for stability. Stability is another one. In the 20th century, it was things like internal passports, movement tracking, mandatory identification papers, always introduced during instability. And they're always described as temporary, but they're rarely ever surrendered. We've seen the pattern so often that now you can't even call it conspiracy anymore. It's institutional logic. When systems are given tools that reduce unpredictability, the engineers, they keep them in place. Here's where it becomes less political and more biological. Science confirmed this decades ago through something called the Hawthorne effect. When humans know they are being observed, they change their behavior. We do not behave the same when we're being measured. Our productivity changes, your language changes, your willingness to take risk changes. Now expand that to a digital civilization where every single action is logged, when every single purchase is categorized, when every post is being archived. You begin performing a version of yourself, optimized, measured, safe. We are not just losing privacy, we are becoming actors in a system that scores us. Sociologists have another term for this: the chilling effect. It's not that they arrest you for speaking. It's that you stop speaking because you might be watched. So instead, you hesitate, you modify your language, you avoid certain questions. You build the cage inside your own mind so they don't have to. That is far more efficient than force, and it scales perfectly in a digital machine. A digital system, a digital machine doesn't need to silence you. It only needs to make you feel unsure of yourself. Now here's an uncomfortable truth. After episodes 1, 2, and 3 in this series, you know you're tired. After commodification, after displacement, after engineered outrage, the cage feels okay after that. Surveillance can actually feel stabilizing. Oversight can actually feel reassuring. Being coordinated actually feels efficient. The cage is introduced as a remedy for the instability that the system helped amplify. And parts of it will work. Yes, you may see fraud decrease. Certain crimes will be caught. That is what makes it persuasive. That's how you justify it to yourself. A comfortable cage doesn't feel like oppression, it feels like convenience. Face ID, location services, predictive suggestions. You just click accept. So then why does this even matter? A machine does not need privacy because it has no interior life. It doesn't wrestle with having a conscience. It does not explore doubt. It does not require space to think without being scored. But you do. A human being requires a private space for conscience, an inner world that is measured by you and your inner beliefs, not by digital overlords. You need a place where ideas are not ranked, where identity is not tracked. So, when total visibility and lack of privacy starts to feel normal, you start to adapt, not through force, but through subtle adjustment, and eventually you forget what it felt like not to be observed. That is actually a kind of scary place to be. Comment below and share your thoughts about what you think. This entire series has been about one thing: systems of use. Systems that reduce you, me, and any other human being to inventory. They replace you when you're what they think as inefficient. They distract you when you actually notice. And finally, they start to monitor you for your own good. But here is a line that they cannot cross. The only place the algorithm, any algorithm, cannot reach is the silence inside you. That is why the world is filled with so much noise, to keep you out of the one room where you are truly free. Because a machine cannot ever choose silence, only a human can. And that's where our power lies. None of this is about rejecting technology. It's about refusing to surrender your inner life. It's about choosing to have moments offline, choosing to have conversations unrecorded, choosing to have thoughts not instantly published. It's not about hiding. It's about remaining whole and personal. Because if your private space, that interior space, collapses, the rest follows far too easily. So remember, through media and entertainment and other proxies, the social engineers will tell you that it's for your safety. They will tell you it's for efficiency. They will tell you that it's inevitable. But inevitability is usually just convenience. You are not a data stream. You are not a behavioral profile. You're not a metric. You are more than what any system can measure. The engineers are just hoping that you'll forget that. And it's actually up to you to decide if you will or if you won't. And if you want a place where you can stop the noise for a few minutes, where nothing is engineered to provoke or track you, I created the weekly antidote on my Substack. No outrage economy, no engineered pulse, just space to think clearly again. Thanks for being here. I'm Kay Rubacek, and remember, you are stronger than you've been told.